So soy, become the motor.
Well, hello folks, and welcome to another Soy SpikeBoarding demonstration tutorial. We're at Mission Trails Regional Park at Mission Gorge here on the outskirts of SanDiego, and we're not going to see the water, and sometimes not seeing the Pacific is quite alright. We're going to do a 9-minute out and a 9-minute back on this wonderful trail that is completely car-free. This is a very good, slightly advanced beginner area. It's not even intermediate, and if you're a total beginner, you just have to keep your speed in check. So if you look through the drills of how slow can you go and keeping your speed in check, you can definitely come here and you're going to have a good time. But keep your speed in check. We're watching expert spikeboarding here. So athletes been doing this for about 9 years. Make sure you get into some of our tutorials. Begin to understand how to keep yourself safe when you're spikeboarding, keeping others safe when you're spikeboarding. But we just wanted to show you these areas in SanDiego and show you how utterly wonderful you guys have it all year round. So this is the middle of February, actually it's the earlier part of February. It's early in the morning, it's about 9 o'clock, and so we're going to get a little bit of side shadow and get a little darker inside of the canyons. If you're new to spikeboarding, please check out the rest of our videos. We have over 100 videos online, and some of them are gonna teach technically a little more than others. And on this particular video, we don't want to get into a lot of technical stuff, other than to tell you that what you're watching is cross-country skiing waist up, and the scooter and skateboard kick waist down. And of course, when we're static on the board and carving, that would be all skateboard skill. So spikeboarding is just a lot of fun, and it's an interesting physical literacy to learn. And if you think about it, if you think about figure skating, and then you think about speed skating, both of them put skates on their feet, but one lives in the acrobat theater, the other lives in the endurance theater. And of course, wouldn't you know, for cycling, the same is the case. So cyclists who are on BMX bikes, 20-inch wheels, and they're getting aggressive, and they're getting radical, and they're doing acrobat, and they're just standing on top of frame, chain, and wheels with a seat. That's a bicycle, but they're doing acrobat theater sport, and that's beautiful. And then of course you have endurance theater. You have the Tour of California, and you have the Tour de France, Giro of Italy, La Vuelta a España, and you've got one-day classics. You have all this endurance racing that's happening on bicycles, and those bicycles also, they're just frames, chains, wheels, and the meditative state of the athlete is what's important, and the end goal. So it's either endurance or acrobat. And the skateboard, which is just a board and wheels, folks, has never been used like a roller ski. And as you see here, it can be used as a roller ski. The athlete you're seeing is age 55, began this sport at age 46 and a half. So this sport is very accessible. And of course, that switch kicking from the waist down all begins on a scooter, folks. We use a kick ped scooter, and then when you're done with it, you can sell it to a friend, or you can give it away. Depends on your salary. For some people it'll be expensive, for others not so expensive. They run around 230 bucks. If you can sell them used, you can just use the 70 bucks that you're going to lose on the purchase as a rental. Pass that savings on to the next person, and play it forward, everybody. So when you get your scooter and you're done learning to switch kick, go ahead and sell it to the next person. You're probably not going to find all that much use for it. We keep them in a car or laying around. All transport sport vehicles have noble use, and you can put them to good use. But a lot of people, as soon as they learn spikeboarding, they're absolutely done with scooters. They don't want anything to do with them again. Folks, have a look at how gorgeous this canyon is. It's absolutely beautiful to be here. And this path and this asphalt is sensational. As you can see, we're sort of one-legged carving up left to right, and we'll get into breaking down this video in slow motion and speaking about all the technical stuff later in some more technical coachy videos. But SanDiego, we just wanted to show you, especially in the SoCal region, where you can just jump in your car and drive directly to a sweet 9-minute out and 9-minute back. Of course, you repeat this about 4 times, you'll get yourself a really nice workout. And when we'd seen it on video here from New York, we thought it was a little steeper. When we got there, we were pleasantly surprised that it wasn't that steep, and that it is a great, well, you know, beginner. You know, if you're already starting on the sport and you know it, you can come here. Just keep your speed in check when you come back down the hills. But there's nothing there's nothing real. There's no cars, obviously, and there's no steep drop-offs left to right, so it's a relatively safe area. And again, this athlete began with elbow and knee pads for a good 9 to 12 months because one of his sides was not dominant. And but wrist guards always stay on for the life of your career. Get on a board, put on wrist guards. Do not ever get on a board or skates without wrist guards. Not quite sure how the roller skiers do it or the inline skaters do it. Maybe they practice rolling out, what have you, but also we use it for support. SpikeBoarding athletes use those wrist guards for support. You're going to enjoy that a lot. Whenever you forget your wrist guards, you'll notice it instantly. You'll say, gee, I'm not getting any support in my wrists. You probably hurt your wrists if you've been spikeboarding a lot with supported wrists. The wrist guards and helmets always stay. And of course, spikeboarding's a full body sport. As you can see, we're engaging every single mechanism that the body has for strength, endurance, and balance. And there's a little climb. That's a really nice picture, looking straight down, back behind that athlete into that really pretty canyon. So we're not seeing the Pacific, but it's no big deal. I know we've got some local friends. They make all your videos, make sure you can see the ocean behind you. Everybody wants the ocean. Well, not everybody wants to do pan flat stuff, and not everywhere is there an ocean behind climbs. Although we did some nice work over Torrey Pines near that area, and some of that was on open road, so it's not beginner. And here it's just deliciously beginner and quiet, especially here in the morning. It's not that many people. There's a couple of people going out for a jog here and there, and maybe you could partner up with friends as well who have disc brakes on their bicycles, and when you come down these descents, you could just lean on your friends, and that's called velo spiking. And if you're the same height, well, then you can switch. You can jump on the bike, they can jump on the board, and you can get a mixed in workout there. And there's the athlete against that blue sky that we do get out west, and it's truly beautiful, sensational. We get that in Colorado, and we get that out here in California as well. It's always so nice to be out here. I'd like to tell you all that we'd very much like to be giving you guys clinics out here. So if you can manage to get 4+ people together, we'll come out and we'll give you some clinics. Those are some ladies that we had spoken to, and maybe she was telling her friends about it. We'd spoken to her in the parking lot. She told us a little bit about this circuit, and we would call this a pickle circuit. That's just out and back. It's long and lean, and brings you out and brings you back. But wow, we really fell in love with this. And man, I wish I had this right in front of my house where I lived. So smooth, so clean, so traffic free, and so quiet and peaceful and out and back. I could do this for 2-3 hours. Man, it's just a beautiful circuit. Seems like the kind of circuit, even though you're just going 9 minutes in each direction, that you would never ever get tired of it. I'm curious about that road that's back there. I really didn't pay much attention to it when we turned around there. I only just say hi. She says hello. She's out for her fitness too. And of course, those athletes are out jogging. And of course, they're not getting any core. And that's the beauty of cross-country skiing, spikeboarding, a simplified form of cross-country skiing. It's constant and steady core. It's always core, so you're going to get everything that those runners get, inclusive of some weight bearing. So you're going to get some weight bearing, but you're going to get a far less impact on your body. So we never have running type of injuries. We never have those injuries in spikeboarding, or for that matter roller skiing, because the impact on your body is far less. In the beginning, you do want to take it a little slow with the spiking. And if you have any elbow issues, little tendonitis, just pull back and don't do quite so much load. Take it a little slower. But what happens is that for the elbows, the power just gets transmitted through there. So as long as you're spiking to the rear and correctly and transferring energy, you shouldn't have any tendonitis issues whatsoever. But like in all sports and running and cycling, if you bite off more than you can chew, in the beginning, you're going to have some tendonitis issues. Those of you who cycle, who've had tendonitis underneath the kneecaps, you know that going up big hills too fast, too much, you'll have tendonitis. So here we're showing a little, monkeying around a little bit. Here we're showing a little bit of the cadence braking. And as we said, the incline is not that steep at all. It's controllable, and with a little bit of cadence braking that you see there. And make sure you check into our videos. We've got a 101 on braking that we made in Colorado. Check that out. And but you're going to have rollout here. You're not going into massively fast speeds, and you're also able to cadence brake the entire time. So this is a great circuit to really pound it out, warm it up, and then pound it out up that uphill, and then bring it on home. I think this is the very first canyon that we've ever been in. The second canyon we were in was Latigo Canyon. So about 5 days after this, we were out Latigo Canyon Road. Instead of carving around the bottom, Latigo Canyon carves around the tops of the ridges. So to be inside of this canyon is really, really nice. And again, this path is super sweet. Those bumps are pretty wide and broad. We didn't scratch on any of them at all. Of course, on this soy board, we're traveling about 5 centimeters off the ground, which is going to be the most relaxed and comfortable position to be in. You do have to be careful if it looks like you're going to scratch the bottom of your deck. Mind that, but we very rarely scratch the bottom of our deck. Most all pavement, wherever you are, is always going to be flat. It's not going to be big bumps in the road. And as you can see, sometimes we're skipping the connection in the kick, and we're just spiking. That, of course, is the Cubi cross stroke, and that's the stand-up spike stroke, and all the combinations in between. We'll go over it later. Just wanted to show you this path, and so you can understand, where do I go spikeboard? Where can I go? I don't want to go in my neighborhood. I don't want to hang around four-way intersections. Well, find yourself to this location, and you're going to enjoy yourself a lot. California, you guys are used to driving quite a bit, so this wasn't all too far away from where we were staying. We were staying at Cardiff on the sea, and I believe this was just a 20-minute drive for us. It's what we enjoyed so much about SanDiego, is the distances were so much closer than Los Angeles. SanDiego, everything seems like it's only 25 minutes away or so. What a lovely city, and what a lovely place to be spikeboarding. Make sure you see all the rest of our videos on the Facebook page, as well as on this YouTube channel, and we'll begin to break down these videos and show you more. But there, of course, is the double poling action, so you really can see how exactly similar the arms are, especially when they're spiking singly, to the double poling action from skiing. And so you're watching the athlete just, putting out a low tempo rhythm here, and as you can see, it's not maxed out at speed. So once you begin to dial in the stroke, it's a very calming kind of activity where you can just rest and sort of go casual. See, just sort of went over that bump and started to do a little bit of hill, and then you catch these one arms and a lot of carving that's happening here. We're carving quite a bit also because we've got that bike right in front of us. So sometimes we just do it for the fun of it, and other times we're doing it just to carve off a little bit of speed. So if you were out here doing a workout, you'd probably be wanting to maintain the board in a straight line, not left and right and left. Unless, of course, you were practicing your one-legged turns or your carving. But when you see us in this position here, we kind of go slightly left and go slightly right. It's because there's a camera right in front of us, and you'd be surprised how close that is, about 2 feet or so. There is the double poling action where you're skiing. That's what it would look like, and the vector lines would be going to the rear. And SpikeBoarding is, of course, as we say, a simplified form of cross-country skiing. And once you do dial in the sport, you're not going to be feeling like you're having a midlife crisis. If you're a master athlete on a board, you're going to feel like you're executing a very logical set of movements, a physical literacy that has finally come together. Because if you look at this closely, you'll notice that waist up, millions of people are double poling, cross-country skiing, and millions of people worldwide are kicking scooters and kicking skateboards. The simple fact is that those two things had to be blended together at some point in time, so that a board and 4 wheels, which is exactly like a board and 2 wheels, a roller ski, could be treated exactly the same. So lycra, tight lycra isn't a necessity, but if you're out here sweating, I do recommend that you not be out here wearing cotton. Probably going to be most comfortable in some sort of technical gear. If you don't want to be catching a lot of wind and becoming a parachute, then yeah, you're going to want to wear the same clothes that inline skaters wear. So there's no difference between this athlete and an inline skating athlete. Both wearing technical clothes that are tight-fitting, especially for spikeboarding. Notice how that skateboard spike comes so close and sometimes hits into that quadricep. And big flappy clothes are going to grab that nub, and it's not going to be comfortable for you. So make sure if you do come out with front pockets or whatever, don't put things in your front pockets. You're lifting your quadricep constantly, and it's very uncomfortable. The other reason that cycling jerseys are so great, they've got pockets in the rear. So I believe this is the end of our journey here. We're back where we started. We'll take you up to the gate. Folks, stay tuned for more instructional videos, and certainly call us if you want to learn. When there's enough people, we'll come by and do a clinic. We've got a production van that's going to be driving all over the United States. So give us a holler or shoot us an email at info@spikeboarding.com to get going in the sport of balanced strength. And you guys have a full year season in comfortable weather. So it's a very fun sport. It's a fun sport, mixes with cycling super well. And if you're training kids in high school, this will get them fit like mad. So spike hard, spike often, spikeboarding, and we will see you at the next one. So long, guys. Thanks for tuning in.